Hello guys and welcome back again to this video. In today's video I'll be talking about Dehya's build, and that's why this video is meant for you guys who are going to pull for Dehya. But however, for those of you guys who are still considering whether you should pull for Dehya or not, you might want to check our recent videos about whether you should pull for Dehya at the top right corner of the screen. Now before we start, I would like to make things clear first. The builds mentioned are based on our own opinion, so basically they are subject to change and they all depends on what team you will be playing on with your Dehya later on. We are also open to opinions, so if you got another opinion or maybe you disagree with something regarding her build that I said in this video, please comment down below in the comment section to clarify things out. We will be focusing mainly on Dehya's build, mostly for her elemental skill. So if you are trying to build Dehya to be focusing on doing Vaporize or basically building Dehya's Vaporize team, which right now I kinda don't really recommend until we can finally test her out, but if you have decided to do that, you might want to do another build. We will also separate the video into several sections, which are weapons, artifacts, and also talent priority. So regarding for her team comps and also her playstyle, I will talk about them again later on in another video, so stay tuned. Now first things first, for her weapons. I think for the 5-star weapons, they all can be used for Dehya, it doesn't really matter to be honest. But however, there is an exception for Song of Broken Pines since it scales of physical damage bonus and you don't really need that stat for Dehya. But obviously you would want to go for her best insult weapon because it scales of crit rate if I remember correctly, and also increase your burst damage. I kinda forgot, but basically of course her best insult weapon will be the best one for her. And for the 4-star weapons, or basically the free to play weapons, you should want to prioritize on 2 or kinda 3 4-star weapons, which being the first one is the Katsuragi Nagamasa. This weapon scales of energy recharge, which will be put it in the video right now, the stats, and for the skill, it will increases your elemental skill damage by 6%, and after elemental skill hits an opponent, the character loses 3 energy, but regenerates 3 energy every 2 seconds for the next 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds and can be triggered even when the character is not on the field. And for the second weapon, you would want to go for, yes, the bell. You heard this right. And for the stats again, it will be put on the screen, but for the skill, taking damage generates a shield which absorbs damage up to 20% of max HP, and this shield lasts for 10 seconds or until broken and can only be triggered once every 45 seconds. And while protected by a shield, the character gains 12% increased damage. And those two are the 4-star weapons that you need to prioritize, but however, if you already got some money and you want to spend it just a little bit on Genshin, you would want to go for a weapon called the Serpent Spine. It is a battle pass weapon, which stats again I will put it on the screen right now. But for the skill, every 4 seconds a character is on the field, they will deal 6% more damage and take 3% more damage, and this effect has a maximum of 5 stacks and will not be reset if the character leaves the field, but will be reduced by 1 stack when the character takes damage. Now I would want to go for the Katsuragi Nagamasa because it has an energy recharge and it would be very beneficial for you guys also if you want to kinda use her burst, but at the same time you also want to focus more on her elemental skill because again the weapon buffs your elemental skill damage by 6% and it will also regenerate more energy for you. And for the bell, clearly because it scales of HP percentage, I think around more than 46% or something. I will put this on the screen, but basically it will generate a shield which will also absorb damage for your Dehya, and it will make your Dehya even tankier than before, and it will also increase your character's damage as well by 12%. And again, for the battle pass weapon, it scales of crit rate and it gives it basically just gives you free damage and basically buffs your damage, so it's pretty good. Now moving on to her builds, which is the first one being 2-piece Crimson and also 2-piece Tenacity. because with 2-piece Crimson set you will gain 15% power damage bonus, and with 2-piece Tenacity you will gain 20% HP. You can also go with 4-piece Tenacity if you don't really have like a good Crimson set, which will kind of make Dehya a support, because on 4 pieces, when an elemental skill hits an opponent, the attack of all nearby party members is increased by 20% and their shield strength is increased by 30% for 3 seconds. And this effect can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds, and this effect can still be triggered even when the character who is using this artifact set is not on the field. You can also go, I think, for the 4-piece Shimenawa and also 4-piece Emblem set, because it will give you more energy recharge, attack in case of Shimenawa, and it will basically buff your elemental burst as well if you are prioritizing on her elemental burst. Now ideally you would want to have a 1/2 crit ratio, but since you'll be playing Dehya mostly off-field, you can stick to at least 60 until 70% crit rate and the rest crit damage. But if you want, you can go more, up to 80% crit rate to maximize her damage. And for her energy recharge, if you don't want to prioritize her burst that much, having 120% until 130% ER is already enough. But if you want to kind of make her an on-field DPS-ish, you would want to go for at least 170% ER. And for the substats, you would want to go with HP percentage timepiece, power damage bonus cup, and also crit damage or crit rate circlet. And also just a bit for her talent priority, I would say you would first want to prioritize her elemental skill, and then next you can prioritize her burst, and lastly being her basic attack, because again, when you are using her elemental burst, it is not considered basic attack. So again, I would say you would want to prioritize her main source of damage first, which is her elemental skill, and then her elemental burst. And I think even if her basic attack is at level 1, I think it's still fine. And I think that's all for today's video. Please subscribe and also give likes, because it will motivate us to even make more videos for you guys. And I think that's all. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.